What's up, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. I got a video for you guys. This is a response to Joe Clem 15. He made a video called "The Movie Rocky Fucked Up the Sport of Boxing." I'm just gonna throw my 2 cents in because I watched this video and he talked about the movie Rocky and how pretty much it's a Cinderella story that is not like reality. It's basically what I got watching the video. But anyway, I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in. Me personally, I don't think it takes one movie to mess up the sport of boxing, because boxing is always going to have its own following. Now, myself personally, I was watching boxing before I seen the movie Rocky. So when I first watched Rocky, it was, I guess it seemed to be a little, I want to say, cartoonish to me in a way, because I was watching boxing and I saw the techniques that the other boxers were using, like Pernell Whitaker, Hector Camacho, Sugar Ray Leonard, Terry Norris, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, even fighters such as Prince Nassim. I was seeing what these guys were doing, and I would watch Rocky, and I would just think that Rocky was cartoonish compared to the styles of these fighters. And there are a lot of people that I know that don't watch the sport of boxing that actually find Rocky to be cartoonish. My girlfriend, she knows nothing about the sport of boxing, but she can't stand the Rocky movies. She doesn't like the movies because she talks about how unrealistic they are. And she kind of knows, and me, as much as I've been teaching her about the sport over the last couple months, she knew before I was even talking about the sport with her that you're not going to just get a contender off the street and fighting for the world championship one day. Just, you're not just going to pick anybody and fight them, and the fighter goes in the ring and gets beat up and stuff, or gets beat up and dies and stuff like that. So honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it would be one movie that would mess up the sport of boxing. And I don't think it would take a movie like that to mess up the reputation of boxing at all. I think if people go and they watch Rocky and then they feel as if they're interested in watching the sport, sometimes they would more than likely be a little bit surprised, because sometimes you're not going to see the fighter go in the ring and just lead in with hooks and land at will and have a 90% CompuBox percentage. But I guess some people won't be able to appreciate the science and concept behind boxing. And also, there have been a lot of movies out there that I guess are a little more realistic, that have not damaged the reputation of whatever realm it was within. Such movies such as The Wrestler. The Wrestler was a movie with Mickey Rourke, and it was about wrestling, and for like 2 years, like from 2007 all the way leading up to when the movie was released, a lot of people were talking about how the movie could ruin wrestling in a way and how it exposed wrestling. Same with Beyond the Mat in 1999, movie that showed like a behind the scenes Terry Funk, Mick Foley, and Jake the Snake Roberts, and showed the dark side of professional wrestling. And that's primarily what those movies focused on, was the other side, rather than the entertainment factor within wrestling and what these men go through in order to entertain the fans. And same with movies such as the movies that Jean-Claude Van Damme was in, Bloodsport and Kickboxer. And you can even go back and talk about the movie with Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. A lot of these movies regarding karate and The Karate Kid, all these movies. See, what they did was they would bring a certain type of sport to the mainstream, and they would show them in a different light. And that's what Rocky did. Rocky is no different from these films, because, and also there's a lot of mixed martial arts films as well that are being released. They might be going straight to video, but I think they're actually doing very well as regarding sales. But anyway, these movies are just meant to entertain fans, not only fans but just people. And And I don't think whoever directed Rocky, I don't remember the name of the director. I don't think Stallone directed. I think he wrote it or something. But I don't think the director more than likely watched boxing leading up to the film. I really don't think he watched. He may have not watched compared to Martin Scorsese. If you look at Raging Bull, you see boxing in a much different aspect, because more than likely because it was a real story, and it did show. It showed kind of the highlight, and it showed the downfall of Jake LaMotta's life, but at the same time, it didn't show his life pick back up right after. And also another movie, Cinderella Man, and but another cartoonish movie that I hadn't mentioned was Gladiator. It showed the dark side of boxing, but this one regarded teenagers. So anyway, these movies aren't intended to mess up a single sport, and I don't think a single movie can mess up a sport. I think more so it's the people that are really within the sport that mess up the sport, such as promoters and managers and sanctioning bodies. I think those are the things that you have to worry about messing up a sport more so than a movie, because we all know movies are make believe. And even the autobiographical movies, there's some things in those movies that are fiction. And but in real life, with the promoters behind the scenes, the politics and all that stuff, none of that was really shown in any of these movies. Maybe Raging Bull, but none of these other movies, politics behind the scenes were really shown. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. I just don't think it takes 1 or 2 movies to ruin the sport. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out Joe Clem 15. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.